everybody, it's Rookie2134 here. I'm going to be playing some Resident Evil 4 tonight. It is January 22nd at like 11:30 at night. So, how's everyone doing? Thanks for the few people that watched my last video. I was surprised, Capcom didn't actually say that there was going to be a uh, Resident Evil 9 demo. I guess that makes it uh, more exciting and more anticipation for the game when it releases in about a month. About a month and a couple of days. So let's play some Resident Evil 4 tonight and just chill. To be honest, I've been kind of bored all day. Yeah, nothing really going on. But I hope everybody had a good week. And hopefully everything's going well. Okay, so let's see where we're at. I can't remember what's what. There we go. Oh. There it is. Speaking of Resident Evil 9, I am a little bit concerned. And I will bring it up right now, actually.
Welcome.
The combat.
Got
they
some rare
have
things
from
on
Resident
sale,
Evil 6.
stranger.
Now, in 6, you could do like melee only combat.
What are you buying?
If you knew how to do it. It did have somewhat of a learning curve. Wasn't really hard. It wasn't like a fighting game. It was press a button X amount of times, your character did a combo. I feel like when you play Leon, it could be broken enough to where maybe you could breeze through some of the sections. Maybe not. Maybe I'm overthinking it. You know,
is that all, stranger?
They have the adaptive difficulty in the game since the Resident Evil 2 remake, which the game will adjust your drops and everything according to how well you're doing, or your HP, or whatever it may be. And basically, I think I'm more excited to play Grace at the moment in terms of characters. Now, I like Leon. I like Resident Evil 4. That's abundantly clear. I like Resident Evil 2. That's abundantly clear. I loved 6. Everybody hated 6. I'm actually probably going to do a video on that. I think the game was, for its time, yes, and had went in one direction, which I think it wasn't bad, it wasn't great, it wasn't passable. It was just like the happy medium, in terms of like just being perfect, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I can't believe I just made that analogy, but it's essentially the case. I liked it because it showed each character's perspective at the age they were and how long they had been doing it up to that point, meaning fighting monsters and surviving from all the craziness that is the Resident Evil franchise, you know. Like, even though it's all made believe, you would still think it, like, if anybody's watched the animated movies, what was it? I think it was, I want to get this one right. I think it was Vendetta, where it showed like Leon was mentally gonna break um, from the stress of the job, whereas in 6, Chris was beginning to lose hope of, is it even worth, like, continuing what he's doing? Is he making a difference? You know, and the fact is, 6 was very underappreciated, not underrated, underappreciated.
Is
I
that
think
all,
it was
stranger?
a great game to a
Thank
degree
you.
with the storytelling. Uh, minus Claire not being in there with Leon, that wasn't too big a deal for me. I was a big kerfuffle back in the day. Whereas, yeah, God, I can't even remember his partner's name. Helena? I think it's Helena. And at the time, it's like, okay, new character. What's her story and all this? And, you play the game, you learn things. And it wasn't even like it was bad in terms of everything. I just think everybody didn't like the explosions or the Michael Bay effect that they used in about every two to three missions. You had something always going exploding. So it was very interesting to say the least,
Is
and
that
very
all, stranger?
entertaining. I remember
Thank you.
having a
Come back
conversation
anytime.
with the guy when I went to go pick up the Elder Scrolls Online at the other day, or not the other day, but when that game came out, I basically went to Brandon Mall, right? I live in Florida, and I always go to GameStop. My family wanted to run around the store and, you know, basically, you know, window shop. Well, whenever I go to any mall, I have to go to a GameStop. That's just a me thing. And basically, I go in, I get my copy of the Elder Scrolls Online after browsing for like 20 minutes. And, I get into this conversation with this older gentleman. I must have been about 20 or so at the time, maybe 21. It's like, you like the new game because it's similar to Call of Duty. I'm like, no, I had said to him because he's like, yeah, no, he was talking to GameStop employee, and basically, he was like, yeah, no, Resident Evil 6 is horrible, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's a good game. Chris's storyline was the most interesting, in my opinion, for that one. Because he was going off the rails. Played 6. There's a part in 6 where Chris flies off his rocker just entirely. And basically, he's just mentally unstable. And the guy was like, oh yeah, you like it just Call of Duty. And mind you, I was more or less talking about the story, and I told him. And he was like, well, that story wasn't good. It wasn't as good as what it could have been, but it was still solid. But anyhow, I was watching a couple videos today about like the state of how gaming feels like it's not the same anymore for people my age. Mind you, I am 33 years old. I am a fossil by internet records, or, time frame. I'm getting up there. But essentially, people are saying, well, video games aren't made the way they were back in the day, and they're correct. Games kind of aren't the same. You don't have that anticipation feeling for like a new game drop or whatever. And that is completely fine. That happens over time. Kind of filter out what you do like in games and what you don't like. And even when you played video games as much as I have, I just, for example, I hope no one makes this a big deal. But essentially, at the end of the year, I don't know if Xbox does this, but PlayStation Network basically sends you an email about what your stats are for the year in terms of games, right? Like how much game time you got, right? I can't do the math. I'm not going to pretend to. Basically, it said I had over 2,700 hours gaming in 1 year. I wish gaming was my job, but no, gaming is the only outlet I have. I am, I'm disabled. I have limited transportation mobility. I have CP. And plus, I don't like going into places with crowds. Imagine being tracked to the mall back in the day, and I'm sure plenty of people can relate where their mother or family members are like, hey, let's go to the mall. I'm going to be very specific here. Not just the mall at any given time, but Christmas time or Black Friday. And yeah, let's go to the mall and try to stand in line and wait for stuff. Mind you, I have done this about 3 different times in my life, as a kid. So when, eventually I got, old enough, I just, stopped doing that entirely. Oh, shotgun ammo, ooh, a bit rough. But, having to go to the mall to basically, try to get Christmas gifts or whatever it was at the time, it was like, hey, no thank you, Just a little bit much, even for me, it was a wee bit much. Need ammo. Not getting any ammo. Our buddy there is kind of stuck. I think we could say I know him with the sniper rifle. What do you guys think? Don't worry, he'll come back up and say hi in a minute. But essentially, just having to go out in public or to an outlet mall and spending 8 hours walking around is not my forte. But essentially, what I was getting at with the time of how much time I had put into some games this year, I really didn't. I might have literally had at least X amount of hours of literally just falling asleep with the console on and waking up 5 or 6 hours later to turn it off, rip my electric bill. But I didn't feel like I really put in that much time. I feel like if if work, I have work. Like, for instance, I've worked since 2015, right? So I started work a little later than most people. And I had just lost my job up to about I think it was around September of last year, middle of the way through. I had lost my job because my job had forced me out of work. They cut my hours entirely. Again, due to my disability, they basically kept hiring younger people, which is fine, you know. Nothing against people that are younger. You know, younger people need jobs too, so, you know, it's not anything I can, younger people aren't, but, essentially, I was told with my employer at the time, you know, things will pick up, you know, once the store goes under, basically, transition. The store had got bought out by another company, and for order to them to have more hours, they're ready to sort of transition and go from there. And we had 30 people, and essentially I would go around, I would do recovery throughout the day. I'd work front end, and then, you know, trying to do my job just as a cashier. I made one or two mistakes, but besides that point, they weren't like major, they were very minor. Like, people accidentally get wrong change left, right, and center. I had to make some decisions because my management was too busy. I have done that multiple times. Not like anything illegal or against policy. It's just, it was quicker to do without having to worry about asking for help when we were nothing but busy 24/7. Anyways, what I'm getting at, it's after I had stopped working, essentially. I know this is all random. I got bird brain again, sorry. But I'm trying to think of something to talk about. But essentially, you know, I'm just trying YouTube to keep busy. You know, maybe I'll get lucky one day, who knows, maybe not. But at least I'm giving it a go. You know, I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to try and do this. And now I'm actually trying. Now, will anything come of it? I don't know. But I think with gaming, right? Gaming has gotten a little dull for people my age, where we've pretty much been around, you know, 3 decades. And we've played video games. It's not because it's the only thing we can do. It's what we love to do. And, you know, the whole thing is, well, if you only play video games, of course you're gonna get bored of it. Well, yes, but the reason why the boredom exists is because games aren't, like, up to the standard of what gaming was back in the day, if that makes sense. People, like, I've been watching a couple of Miro's videos is it Folly or Fully? And they cover, again, like I've done before, uh, Battlefield and, general gaming content, right? And Call of Duty. And, everybody's talking about how Battlefield is essentially dead because there's no content. Mind you, this game just came out. Excuse me, in October. This game just came out October. So we're not even I want to say remotely halfway yet. But the game still got a lot of time before anything relevant happens. What I mean by that is, I was talking to my friends the other day. My friend Battlefront and Say, right? Sacred tags. I know their actual names, but I'm not gonna disclose them. But basically, I've been friends with these guys since I was in high school, right? And they're a little bit younger than me, Brady. So, oh well, I said it. Sorry, man. My friend, okay, he's slightly younger than me, and I was having a conversation with them, and basically, we were talking about, well, I told them, I would prefer going back to, DLC add-ons, like, pay, $15, you get X amount of content, right? And I'm talking about FPS games. If you guys played Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare games, I don't know if the Gears of War franchise had DLCs or anything. The only one I can think of is Call of Duty, Skyrim, uh, Resident Evil, of course. I don't think we started seeing add-ons until, well, no, they're not really add-ons. They were more like costumes, so cosmetics. So, if I recall, I think Resident Evil 5 had a few add-ons. I can't remember. They were just cosmetic only. But I was saying, well, if we went back to the DLC model for gaming, and it was priced fairly now, meaning affordable, for anybody and everybody to do, then, I think that would be a great thing. Maybe it would leave some time for certain games to breathe a little. Now, I don't think every game should have its content fucking right out the game, but I don't think it should be missing content either, so instead of a content. And, having to basically figure out, like, what people could do for gaming in general, which would be just give games time to breathe. Battlefield's got at least, I want to say, 4 years before the next one, or maybe 5, because Battlefield has a life of a long time. Now there are some outliers like Battlefield 4, where if you hop on over the weekend or you have a PC, which I think PC is a little bit better for this because gaming consoles don't. I mean, you got server browsing, but I think video games are more stable on PC in terms of longevity. You could hop on probably Battlefield 4 right now on a computer and find a regular lobby where, you know, everybody's, you know, essentially able to play the game, but nowadays, trying to basically play a game and, you know, enjoy it without feeling like the game dying is kind of, I want to say, just up to the person itself. Like, don't get me wrong, you know, that hurt. This is gonna suck. Why did he have to go ahead? He died, alright. But, man, she's angry. But, essentially, you know, I really think it depends on the person. I don't think video games are dying, like, as we say. Maybe, like, multiplayer-wise, yes, but I don't think story-driven games are, like, suffering, you know, the equivalent, if you know what I mean. Like, ouch. Do I have a triple reticle there? Gotta eat that. Anger. Get some ammo and some things. Crazy how, well, I can't actually say that. I got more TNT stuff. And maybe the TNT part of the community is right. Man, this is a good guy. Kill stuff. Don't feel like I'm running out of ammo. I get it. It's supposed to overwhelm. I'm trying to get ammo. Oh, no. I'm being too greedy. Essentially what I'm getting at is, in relation to Nero and, Nero and, is it Fully Folly? I'm sorry. You haven't seen your moments. Talking about how Call of Duty and Battlefield are like suffering player bases, mind you. I think I've been around a little bit longer than these guys, not like doing YouTube, but age-wise, gaming. Sorry about that. Eating a chip. Anyways. Sorry about that, guys. Eating a chip. I didn't mean to do that, but I've been very hungry. Been wanting Tostito salsa chips. My bad. I'm so sorry. And basically, I've been around since gaming online since Modern Warfare 4. I think Nero was about the same age. But in terms of, I don't think multiplayer games are dead. I don't think Battlefield and Call of Duty are dead. They definitely need to be I can shelve for a little bit. Give the franchises a break, but again, the community has said it ad nauseum where, you know, if you give the game time to breathe and, you know, everything in between, you know, essentially the things could get better with, you know, time, right? Ooh. Get out of my car, you monster! Will I live or will I die? God only knows. Now, do I try to get greedy again? I don't know. I want to try to recoup all the stuff I'm using. Oh, that's actually very good. Okay, that works. But I think, oh, I could see gaming changing over the next decade. Like, I don't know if there's an actual trailer I watched the other day, right? But I seen something in relation to, I guess, a Halo trailer or fan-made trailer. I don't know if it was from 343 Studios or not, so I don't know. But basically they're showing what maybe the intro to the okay, I am not imagining this. Oh my god, I was about to be assassinated. You stay on your side of the thing. Where it was showing either a new a intro to Halo 1, right? To the the Halo itself, right? Oh, nice shot. Hey, am I out? Oh man, I am out of bounds. I'm almost out of bounds. Man, cool. Let's see if I get it. Ah. Not good at tapping, mind you. Old as dirt, and I am sorry. I know it's not normal, but again, that's what it is. but it looks like they had changed some of the intro. Now, I thought it was gonna be not a remake, but it looks like a remake. Hopefully it's not. Because it's going to kill the original game story-wise. It looks like they changed some things. Now, I don't know, it being from, it's just a trailer, it's no big deal, or it's fan-made, things change over time, but I am hoping the game keeps its original plot points, or whatever you want to call it. As it looks like they changed the dialogue. Mind you, I've played Destiny 1 for forever, basically since beta. And I get things change over time, they rewrite the dialogue, they switch things around, but I don't think it's needed for every game, in general, right? Made me a little bit scared there. But personally, I'm just hoping, like, over time, again, we got games that are multi-platform and stuff, but I think certain need to be kind of re-plugged back to their simplest form, in terms of Halo does come out for the PlayStation, right? I'm hoping that, it doesn't get to a point where, basically all the oh no. Oh god. I am trying here, but I'm not getting anywhere today. Wow, I got 20 minutes left on the clock. But I think, like, if Call of Duty went back to its original thing, it'd be fine. Battlefield just went back to their original formula, if you could say that, right? Just how it regularly plays, right? And that's all games need to be. They need to be simple. I don't think games are dying. I think multiplayer games could definitely have a bit of a breather you know, everybody has said this ad nauseum. Anybody who doesn't play any online games, you know, to a degree. In terms of Resident Evil 9, I think, like, I'm excited for it because it's not a multiplayer game. But again, I've played, you know, multiplayer games since 2008, you know, and for playing these games online as long as I have, eventually you get tired of seeing different base scenarios, sorry, you know, for anybody else has little kids. But essentially, like, oh yeah, you know, I'm excited for this multiplayer game to find out, well, you play it for maybe a year or two, and then you get put up against maybe the top 2% of the lobby. I'm not even like a amateur level Call of Duty player, right? I don't care for the competitive scene. I believe, in my personal opinion, competitive gaming hasn't ruined gaming or gaming content. I think it's gotten way more, I don't want to say complex, but way more, if you're not good at the game, in terms of, you don't have a clear understanding of the game, playing games competitively just aren't your thing. It's not a bad thing to say, I think, because if, basically, you know, if you're playing a game, you should be playing it to enjoy it, you know, and basically, out of this whole blend, I am trying to figure out if we stop taking games so seriously. Oh, I just missed the shotgun shells. Damn. Okay, Leon needs the axe for the 5th time. Alright, let's see what's in this. Right here, TMPM. Okay. Ow, can't grab me, man. But I think gaming is slowly healing. In terms of, you know, games going back to what they are. They're supposed to be enjoyment first and foremost. And, you know, if you're playing a game that is like Call of Duty or Battlefield, you should be playing it with the expectation that some people are going to be competitive in general. And yes, I do agree with the one thing everybody has said though, is Call of Duty with less movement, or people that don't want movement in their games. I think that's what I was trying to get at, was part of the topic at least, is where the old school gamer like myself and friends that are slightly older than me, we grew up with this stuff when it was first coming out, and it's advanced so far where, you know, kids younger than us are clearly gonna have age as an advantage, you know. But it doesn't mean you can't still kind of outsmart and try to outthink your opponent. Mind you, there's this one Call of Duty YouTuber that I still watch to this day. He's probably older than me, probably by a decade. His name is Thunder. If you know, you know. This dude is a legend for Call of Duty. He calls out everything, just like Nero and Foley and everybody else that kind of covers Call of Duty or Battlefield, you know. And there's probably thousands and thousands of other content creators talking about this. I'm just on a random tangent today, but I think gaming as a whole has progressed so far that we want to return to the simpler times, but they somewhat can't or won't, depending on how you view it. I think more or less is basically after the bullets, give me back my train card, I go. But I think gaming as a whole, it's not gotten bad. Who said me? Alright, let's not say. Oh my god, am I gonna die? Like, I'm in the worst spot. How is that still moving? Alright, wish me luck. Got it. Holy shit, I almost broke my finger on that. Feeling in my elbow. But anyways, what I was getting at is, in terms of games getting better over time, I think they will. I think when Modern Warfare 3 Remastered releases, there's not going to be the multiplayer. That's just the foresight. And basically, they ain't going to include the multiplayer with the base game because it would take away their current player base. But, you know, it is what it is. Can't really be helped. Oh. But essentially, I watched the trailer. The trailer was good for Resident Evil 9. Again, I think it's my fault that I'm kind of spoiling it, but hopefully there's more to the game than just that. You know, what Capcom is showing. I'm hoping there's more. In terms of, you know, what we can expect from the game. We got about another month. People are saying we should play X, Y, and Z Resident Evil games. I'm going to be honest. The games you guys want to be playing, if you are wanting to figure out where we're at in terms of Leon's story, play 2. It doesn't matter which 2. If you got the original, play the original. And if you got the remake, play the remake. You do not have to play both. Either will suffice. I would say play this one or, again, the remake for this one. And if you really want to get Leon's full story at the moment, play 6. I highly encourage people to play 6. No one's ever going to say this. It is a solid game if you put everything out your mind and just enjoy it for what it is. But not many people like 6. They think it's too long, too short. I might actually do a playthrough on that. Not probably up to Resident Evil 9's release, because I said I was gonna do 7's. I gotta finish this. 7, I could probably do in like 2 to 3 videos. It's not really that long. 8, I could probably do in probably 2 to 3 videos as well. I'm just probably gonna just do a regular playthrough of it and then go from there. But let's listen to some music and see where we're at. But oh, hang on. There we go. We ain't doing it here. We're not saving it here. Yes, yes. We are going to save it here. But in terms of what I was basically trying to get at for this whole game, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of background and stuff about me. I know you're not supposed to share a lot, but essentially, I'm just another guy online, right? Just another dude, or gamer, and you know, people are saying gaming's dying. It's not dying. I just think if if you have the option, play older games that you got. If you have a library, stop playing the newer stuff. Go back to the older stuff. Because guess what? It will remind you why you fell in love with gaming to begin with. Um, I don't know if people really care to hear that. Be like, well, I already know. If I don't like the current stuff that's out, I'll just go and play whatever else I got. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. I just think that modern games are they're not bad, they're not great, but there hasn't been anything that's been relatively like phenomenal for everybody. There, that's the word. Um, you know, where it's unanimous, where everybody agrees, like everybody's got at least try the game, and again, Elden Ring, great game, nothing wrong. Played it twice, put 400 hours into it, two different occasions. Um, total 400 hours, 400 hours each. And again, that's still a long time for just playing by myself. And then I played with my group. And essentially, you know, gaming is good, but sometimes take a break. And that's what I've been doing. I have not been playing video games as much as the PlayStation thing says I am, because I have a little roommate, aka a kid, right? My dad's other half lives with us, and he'll play my game console every now and again. So um, it's just sometimes it's just good to just step back, take a break, and then when you want to come back, if you don't want to play the new stuff, play the old stuff. Anyways, let's listen to some beautiful music, and thank you guys again for the views on the last video, and let's listen to some beautiful music and try to relax, alright? Hopefully everybody has a good day. Let's see where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. 8 hours. I mean, that's not too bad, to be honest. It's not. Well, everybody, I hope you didn't mind my tangent for the day. Just wanted to give you a little bit of foresight. I was trying to explain who I was as an individual in the last video, but I wasn't recording. So I just want to explain kind of who I am in general. And I am grateful for anybody that clicks on the video. Thank you very much. If you like the, videos, you can like and subscribe and hit thumbs up, if you like it. If not, no big deal. I do appreciate everybody that, at least listens to part of the video. So I hope you all have a great day, and hopefully your guys' weekend is great. We're gonna wrap this game up in about probably 3 more videos if I'm doing my math correctly. Thank you guys so much. You all have a good weekend, and catch you later. Peace.